Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another segment with Your Money with MRC Financial. I am your host, Hector Guizar, with my distinguished guest host, Mr. Eric Hanson. How are you doing today, Eric?
I'm doing good, Hector. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. Last time we had you on the show, we had a lot of questions, extra questions about bankruptcy, especially for homeowners in California. Want to know more about bankruptcy. So today we kind of narrowed it down to 10 questions. So hopefully you can help us out, give us the answers to everyone that's been seeking them via email, and get started right away. All right, so can we go right into the segment with the questions?
Okay.
So the first question that we had, Eric, was this. If I'm a homeowner, can I still retain my home if I file bankruptcy?
Yes, you can, Hector, generally. In a Chapter 7, you've got to be current with your payments, and we also have to look to see how much equity you have in your property. There's going to be an amount that is not excluded.
Okay.
Okay, and so if you're basically, for a couple, if you're over $125,000 of equity, then Chapter 7 is not going to work. It's not going to fly. We don't want to do that because the homeowner could be forced to sell his home, and we don't want that. Usually homeowners are trying to stay in the home. Correct. So for a 7, yes, if there's a limited amount of equity.
Okay. So the question again, ladies and gentlemen, was if I'm a homeowner, can I still retain my home if I file bankruptcy? The answer, Chapter 7, yes, but you need to be current with your mortgage payments. Thanks a lot, Eric, on that one. And the second question was this. I have a second mortgage and my house is underwater. Can I file a bankruptcy on the second mortgage?
Absolutely, Hector. And that's a great illustration of how Chapter 13, filing a 13, can help a homeowner in that situation. If they're upside down on their first and they have a second, absolutely. What we can do is we can usually eliminate the second altogether under a 13, and then they can still get back on their first. We put their delinquent payments back into a plan, they pay that back, and they're good to go.
Okay. So again, guys, the question was, if I have a second mortgage and my house is underwater, can I file a bankruptcy on the second mortgage? You can file a bankruptcy, Chapter 13, which is a planned payment over 3 to 5 years. Proposed payment, 3 to 5 years, is based on your monthly income minus your expenses. Third question was this, Eric. What is a Chapter 7 bankruptcy? For those that missed the first segment, let's kind of...
Basically, Hector, Chapter 7 is a liquidation. You're basically getting rid of all your debt, and that's unsecured debt. That's the key word, unsecured. That's credit card debt, some medical bills, sometimes loans. All those are unsecured debts, and that's what a Chapter 7 does, is eliminate those debts. Okay.
Again, guys, the question, what is a Chapter 7 bankruptcy? It is called a liquidation. Most of your debts are discharged, credit card debts, medical debts, repossession, junior liens on foreclosed properties. Question number 4 that we got from our viewers was, what is a Chapter 13 bankruptcy?
Well, a Chapter 13 bankruptcy is a little bit different because in a 13 you have secured debt. And what secured debt is typically it's your home because that's secured, that loan is secured with your home, or perhaps a car payment because that loan is secured with the automobile. So basically what you're doing in that is it's a reorganization of all your debt. And you're paying that back through a plan between 36 and 60 months, and you're eliminating some of your debt, but not your secured debt.
Okay. So again, guys, what is a Chapter 13 bankruptcy? It is called a debt reorganization, similar to a debt consolidation. You pay all your debts at a discount for 3 to 5 years. Again, monthly income minus your monthly expenses.
That's correct.
Question number 5, does my spouse have to file bankruptcy with me?
Well, Hector, no, it's not mandatory under the laws. However, California is a community property state. Okay, that means that couples are liable for the debts of one another, married couples. So typically we suggest that they file jointly, although that's not always the case, but you don't want to have one spouse liable for debts that the other spouse is no longer liable for, because what are you really doing? Nothing. Okay. So we have to look at that.
Gotcha. So again, question number 5, guys, does my spouse have to file bankruptcy with me? No, but because we are in California, a community property state, debtor's spouse may be liable for debtor's debt in the future. So maybe the wife should file bankruptcy with the husband, right? But that's be up to you guys to discuss that at
that's correct. Absolutely, or vice versa. You know, sometimes most of the debts are from one spouse, but you know, if the other spouse is still liable, what difference does it make? We don't want it to come back on the spouse that doesn't file.
Right. Just get done with it. And
exactly.
that's it one time. Okay.
Exactly.
Question number 6. Can I just file bankruptcy for my credit cards?
Well, if that's all the debt you have, yes. But most of the time, people have other debts. And you can't pick and choose in the bankruptcy court, oh, I want to pay this back, but I don't want to pay this back. I want to pay this back, I'm going to pay it. No. You have to list all your debts, okay? And that's what the bankruptcy court wants. If you've got to disclose everything.
It's got to make sense.
It's got to make sense, and it's got to be upfront.
So again, can I just file bankruptcy for my credit cards? The answer is no, ladies and gentlemen. You have to disclose all your debtors, the ones that you want to discharge, and the debt that you want to keep paying, your mortgage debt, your car payments, etc. On to the next question, number 7. How long does a bankruptcy negatively affect my credit moving forward in the future, Eric?
Well, you know, Hector, that's really kind of a myth, because as soon as your bankruptcy is discharged, then you have no more debt. You're really starting fresh on a clean slate. So creditors are ready to give you credit right there and then. So there's really no waiting period, and in a lot of people, it's not harmful.
Okay, because we had a lot of clients that say, hey, if I file a Chapter 7, I'm probably not going to get credit ever again. You're saying that there is life after a Chapter 7 or even life after a bankruptcy.
Absolutely. That's very typical. And creditors know that. Lenders know that. And so people will file a 7. They get discharged. They can't file again for 8 years. Okay. So typically, they're ready and willing to give these people a loan.
Okay. Sounds good. Question number 7. How long does a bankruptcy negatively affect my credit in the future? Answer is, it is a myth. You heard it from Eric. Once you file a bankruptcy and receive a discharge, it means that you have no more debt, so you can start a new, fresh financial start for you and your family, guys. There is life after a bankruptcy. Question number 8. Eric, can I do a loan modification and a bankruptcy at the same time?
Absolutely. The courts here in California are flexible to that. It happens all the time. We file a bankruptcy for a debtor, and yet they're trying to seek a loan modification at the same time. The courts will allow that, so it's not a problem.
Okay. Again, guys, can I do a loan modification and a bankruptcy at the same time? Mr. Hanson says yes. Here in California, the bankruptcy court is giving permission to debtors to continue with loan modifications. Question number 9. Can I include my student loans in a bankruptcy?
Well, that's a little bit of a trick question. Yes and no, Hector. In a 7, because you're getting rid of all your debts, a student loan is not dischargeable. It is, so no. In a 7, absolutely not. There's nothing you can do with that student loan in a Chapter 7. You can't just discharge it and be gone with it. However, in a 13, what we can do is we put it into the plan, and it gets paid back over the 3 to 5 year period, and then it's paid off. And
that's the common term, 3 to 5 year period on the Chapter 13.
On a 13, it's 36 to 60 months.
Okay. So again, guys, question number 9 was, can I include my old student loans in a bankruptcy? Answer is no, not with the Chapter 7 filing. Yes with the Chapter 13. Again, a planned payment, 3 to 5 years. The planned payment equals your monthly income minus your monthly expenses. Okay, Eric, don't want to take too much more of your time, so we're down to the last question. Question number 10 was, well, it's actually a 2-part question. Can I include my medical bills that are in collections or have been charged off, or any other collections or charge-offs that are negatively affecting my credit right now?
Generally, again, no in a Chapter 7, but yes in a 13. And once again, the reason why that's available for a 13 is because you're paying those back through the plan. And so they're not getting discharged, you're paying them back. But the good thing is you have time to pay them back. And all these planned payments in a 13, it's based upon your income and your expenses. So the court wants to put you in a plan. That means an amount you're paying back monthly that you can afford.
Gotcha. Again, guys, question number 10 was, can I include my medical bills that are in collections or have been charged off, or any other collections or charge-offs? Answer is yes. All the debt can be included in a Chapter 7 or 13 bankruptcy. Guys, that concludes our segment on filing a bankruptcy while being a homeowner in California. Again, I want to thank my distinguished guest host, Mr. Eric Hanson, for coming out today. And hopefully we could have you again on our show next time, Eric, because once this sucker airs, we're going to get a whole bunch of more questions about bankruptcies, and we love having you. You're a fan favorite already, so we'd love to have you again on our next show.
Hector, as usual, thank you very much. I enjoy being on the show, and anytime.
All right, thank you very much, guys. We'll see you guys at the top.
Thank you.